host Nelson with Cascade Sports, and tonight we have the head coach of Central Blue Eagles, and he's got two of his players. And as we always say, the ball is in your court, coach.
I'm just so happy that we're back again. Tonight we have Michael Johnson and James King, and I had to bring some character guys tonight. I had to bring some guys that have, in my estimation, really grown as men. They've changed the way they act, they changed the way they walk, they changed the way they talk, and it's guys that I am super proud of to be Central Blue Eagle. They exemplify what we ask of them as young men. And to watch them grow and to become who they are is one of the most fulfilling things that I've had happen this season.
Who we got here?
So we got Michael Johnson. He's our fabulous 5'4" corner. I'm gonna say he's 5'5". I'm gonna give him that inch. Physical, bulldog corner, loves to play, super excited. There every day at practice, even though he doesn't always like what we're doing. He's there and he's giving effort. And then we have James King. He's a slot receiver and a safety for us. And James has really, really grown this season. His attitude is incredible. It's yes, sir, no, sir. He's starting to make plays on both offense and defensively. And so I'm just super excited about having these two young men to be able to showcase who they are out to everybody out there in the world.
All right, we're going to go in on Johnson first. Hey, Johnson, tell our audience a little bit about yourself. Do you know the drill or don't you know the drill? Tell me, do you know the drill?
I don't know the drill. This is my
Why
first.
you don't know the drill?
This
You
is
don't
my
know the
first.
Cascade Sports? You don't look at the interviews?
Nah, not really. I'm too
All
focused
right,
on
well,
school and
now
playing
you
ball.
hold it. Now, this is the drill for everybody, the politicians, the sports people. Let's go back to the first time that you decided you wanted to play sports and bring it all the way up to where you at. I want you to talk about some of the coaches that help you learn the game. And then I want you to talk about some of the people that help you grow as a person, not with the sports. Let's go. The ball is in your court. Run it down.
I first wanted to play football when I was in the 4th grade. You know, I just love the sport. It's a physical sport. You know, it comes with a lot of praise when you do things right. And in the 5th grade, I actually got to play for the Ravens, KC Ravens. And then I played with Jermaine from Lincoln. And then with the Blue Devils. And then I played with the Blue Devils when I was in 6th grade.
Who were the coaches? That's what we want to know. Or did any of them coaches add to your
Nah, not really.
set? All right. Nah. Well, keep it moving.
When I was in 5th grade, I got to play football. No, 6th grade, I got to play football for the Blue Devils until 8th grade. And then I got to high school. My first 2 years, my first year I didn't play, you know, bad grades. I had to get all that right first.
Stop. Tell our audience what you had to do to get that straight.
I had to stop playing football altogether. Focus
right,
straight.
But I'm saying, and then what you had to do? How'd you get it together?
I had to, you know, my freshman year, I failed 2 classes, so I had to go to summer school, get those right, and then the next year, make sure my grades are all right during the football season.
What motivated you to get your grades right?
Going to college. It's always been my life goal, is to make it to college.
All right, now let's keep it moving.
Yeah, and then my sophomore year, I got to play, but I didn't really click with the coaches. They didn't really help us that much. They were throwing in new plays every week, and we barely knew them. And then my junior year, we got Coach Pittel and Coach Davenport and Lamar. You know, they've helped us with a lot. We've had parties at Coach Lamar's house where we watched.
How long did it take you to buy into his system?
Good week. First time I talked to him, it was the last day of school.
Oh, he was like a used car salesman. He sold y'all that quick?
Yeah.
I gotta bring him on my team.
First time I talked to him was after school, like the last day, and he was walking into the library. And I introduced myself. I told him I was Michael Johnson, starting corner from the last season. And then the summer came and we got in the weight room and he whipped us into shape. He got us right quickly.
This program is brought to you by Stargate.
Never worked that hard.
What was your last year's season, your personal season like?
Last year, mostly tackles, nothing really defending anything in the air. Everybody mostly ran on us. About it.
Well, what do you think is the best attributes you have as a corner or defensive back in general?
Being able to understand the plays and be in my spot coverage-wise, getting everything down packed.
You're a student of the game. You coach, run it down because I listen to the players, but that's why I always want to coach one of your head coaches on or somebody. Run it down with where he's at.
One thing that's really excellent about Michael Johnson is he has that next play attitude. So it doesn't matter what this play was, he's on to the next one. He doesn't dwell in it. And people try to take advantage of him. He's 5'4" out there. So they're going to put a 6'2", 6'3" receiver out there, and it's going to be a dogfight. He's not going to give it up. He's going to be in their chest. He's going to be on their hip.
It's going to be a dogfight?
Absolutely. Absolutely. He has that bulldog mentality. I'm telling you right now,
if
Michael Johnson was 5'10", he would be a D2 corner, no doubt. No doubt. But, he's 5'4", but he fights with everything he has. He goes and he goes and he goes. And then when you want some more, you just ask him and he'll look at you, but he gonna go anyway.
All he plays corner?
Yeah, he plays corner because he is the leader of the secondary. He makes sure everybody gets right. And so as few guys as we have, we got to try to rest a couple of guys. And so if need be, I will put him in on offense, but right now, because he's our best corner, he has the toughest matchup. And so we just put him out there on that island.
How about kick returns?
I'm on the front.
No, we try to keep him off that. We try to keep him as fresh as possible because he's going to draw the hardest matchup every week.
Right. Get me together, coach. So what was your season like last year personally? And I want you to, did you set any goals for yourself last year? And tell me what your highest point was last year psychologically for yourself and what your lowest point was.
So you said,
and play, your personal play last year, did you set any goals for yourself at the beginning of the season? Personal goals?
Yes.
Did you reach them? Tell the audience what those goals were.
My goals were to at least make first team or second team in the IL. I'm runner-up this past season. And at least a couple picks. Ended the season with one, though. No, I didn't quite meet it, but I'm getting to it this year. I got 2 so far.
Boy, you heard, Coach, he lived up to what you said. He hurried up and got off that. Next play.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. That's his mentality.
Hurry up and got off that. He was like, that's what happened. Next play. I'm getting it this time. Yeah. And
he would actually have 2 more picks, but he was on fades and corners, except he couldn't get his feet in bounds. But he would have 4 right now. It was just, an outstanding play. One, he went back up over his head and tried to snag him with one hand and landed out of bounds. That was an impressive catch.
Hey, Johnson, what was your lowest moment?
My last year?
Yes.
My lowest moment was definitely the Pembroke game. I was in my head a lot that game.
Run that down to the audience and run down how you were feeling because there are going to be other athletes like yourself that's going to look at this interview and they're going to know that they're in the same boat as you and these things happen. Run it down.
Well, with that game, they had a 6'2", 3 receiver that I had to deal with the whole time. It was just, they kept making short plays on me, not gaining that many yards. But it was just frustrating because I kept messing up. And then they kicked
How
the
was you
on.
messing up?
I wasn't getting in my coverages right. I wasn't making the tackles. I missed a lot of tackles that game and a bunch of other blown assignments. But I got right after the first half, you know. But it was just an onside kick that came right towards me that they got that I hadn't reacted enough time to get it, which made me really mad. I was really down on myself after that. But he's got to keep going, you know. Next play, something good always happens. Our offense.
Tell me this. What was the team? Did y'all win that game?
Versus Pembroke?
Yeah.
We were coming back, but the onside kick is
what was the atmosphere in the team? Don't give me no baloney. After that loss, tell me and tell our audience what it was like for Central's locker room and how y'all felt. Did you come together, or was there any, run that down?
Yeah, the atmosphere was pretty low. We were all sad after that game because that was a game we really wanted to win. We had high hopes coming in. But after like a couple of days, we got everything back on track and we started getting better.
Got your head back.
Yes, sir.
Coach, how did you read that after that game?
It is, I think that was a turning point game for us. It was one of the first times where we had overcome some adversity. We were down and I made a gamble in the end of the first half. I tried to go quick strike and we turned the ball over. And they're down tight and they have a chance to score, but we hold them and we call a timeout before they kick a field goal. And so they're going to call it fake. And they threw a fake, and then there's James King standing in the end zone, picking it off and going down the sidelines. Now this is where learning football and knowing football is different. So the team caravans, whole defense is running down the sideline with James, except what they did is as they're looking over their shoulder towards the field, they ran James out of bounds. Or we would have scored right at the end of the half, take the momentum, because we got the ball in the opening kickoff, went down and scored, forced a 3-and-out, got another touchdown, and all of a sudden we're beating Pembroke at Pembroke. And that was like the team where we saw the glimpse of everybody starting to put things together. But I was just so happy to watch them run and rally in front of James. They just had to run him out.
Moment for the team, the Pembroke game, or was that what game really cemented y'all last year?
I think one of the things that was definitely unique about the Pembroke game is as we're getting on the bus, we had the referee come and get on the bus and get on the loudspeaker and say how much respect he had for us, how we carried ourselves, how we talked to each other, how we maintained on the sideline. You know, a lot of people think Central acts a certain way. And that's one of the things I was super proud of last year. Is
student athlete, baby.
We're
That's
getting that
what
student
I'm talking
athlete.
about.
You know, we're starting to make that change into where we're shaping young men. And, you know, for last year, we got 4 superior ratings from officials about our sideline behavior and our demeanor. And Central never gets anything positive from officials. We always get talked about how their kids talk and their language and all of that. And now, you know, now we have officials who are happy to see us play.
Staff. I think in general, I've dealt with the basketball coach. I think as the young people, took me even a minute to understand. They all be screaming about the culture. Mm-hmm. I'm like, what the hell culture you talking about? Which one? But I think that the staff over there is building a new winning attitude culture, saying, look at your history. We're going back and we're going to dig deep and we're going to make this thing happen.
Yeah, definitely, without a doubt. And, you know, James King is an example of that. You know, James has come a long way. He's really grown as a young man and as an individual and as a leader for our team. You know, James, last year was the first year that James really stuck out a whole season because he would get down on himself.
We're going to get to him. I'm going to finish with Johnson.
Okay.
All right. Hey, Johnson. So what do you have planned? You talked about your last season. What do you have planned for this season? Did you set goals this season? If so, tell our audience what those goals were.
I did set goals. I set a goal with my fellow DBs to get at least 4 picks on the season. And so far, I have 1 because one of them didn't count. I was out of bounds. But we got a game Saturday, and hopefully I get up.
Who do you play Saturday?
University Academy.
What was the last team you played?
East.
East. How did that go for you?
I mean, it went really well for the defense as a whole. We held up to 16 points in the first half.
Mm-hmm.
Second
16
half,
in the first quarter, 0 in the second quarter.
16 in the first quarter, 0 in the second. You know, we lost by a touchdown. I think we did pretty well though.
All right. What else? What other goals do you have for this season? Tell me what goals you have from an academic standpoint.
At least a 3.5 GPA, getting into college, and a good score on the ACT. You know, it's just all about keeping my grades up for right now.
Who's been a mentor to you in your personal life away from football? They can combine, but more so off the gridiron that helped you build your skill set as a young man.
My mother, definitely her.
What's her name?
Tiffany.
Tiffany?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Tiffany Johnson, your baby boy is hollering out at you. Shout out to Mama. That's what's up. That's what's up.
Yes,
Johnson, what advice do you got for a young freshman that's coming in under the system that coach has to help him understand what his responsibilities is and how to move forward with the sports part of his education and the educational part? What advice you got for him?
For incoming freshmen, I would say, you know, put in your all to it. Coach Pittel he'll do some good things for you. You know, he had us in the weight room for most of us the first time since we've been in high school. You know, it's gonna be hard, but you just gotta keep going and have a short memory. When you're in games, you know, you mess up, everybody messes up. Just get back on it, you know, go to the next play. And academically wise, keep your grades up. I wish someone had told me my freshman year, keep your grades up. You know, good grades will get you far. Figured out.
All right.
I mean, that high on the ACT, you know.
Pleasure having you on the show. Now we getting ready to dive in, go in deep on you, Mr. King. Do you know the drill?
Yeah.
All right. Hit it.
So, the person that, let me see.
Go back all the way to the first time you wanted to play.
Football?
Sports in general, and bring us up to where you at now. And give the coaches their propers, your biddy coaches, if you can remember who helped you. You just didn't arrive on the scene. And from what coach tells me, you have just really arrived on the scene, knowing how to behave and knowing how to do this and do that. Run your progression up from your younger years. Go ahead, man.
Okay. In 6th grade, I wanted to play basketball, but my grades wasn't too good. So I was trying to get that up. Then 7th grade came around. I wanted to play basketball. I kept my grades up and all. And, I couldn't make the team because
where was you at? What school?
I forgot. I was at Central Middle.
All right.
I couldn't make the team because stuff was going on at home and I couldn't make every practice. So the coach really wanted me. His name is Coach Wheaton. At that point in time, I don't know if he's still coaching. But he seen I had hops and I was down there dunking.
You got some hops, baby? Yeah. Coach Eyes went. All right.
Eighth grade, I didn't do nothing. I just kept focused on work. Ninth grade, I played for Coach Young. I played my freshman year. I was on freshman basketball, and I played my sophomore year, and that's when it came down to junior year. Mike told me to come play football with him, and I was thinking like, nah, I'm not about to play football. I don't know what I'm doing with the football. That's when he just said, come anyway, you're gonna find out. So I stuck by Mike during practices and stuff. He showed me what to do, showed me the rifles. Then I got to learning what to do. Coach started to help me on learning all the plays, all the hand signs that we do. And I just started to fall in love with the sport.
Tell me this. As you fell in love with the sport, how did you see yourself changing personally? Your attitude and all of that. Run that down. First, hold it. Also, run down what kind of person you was before you start really getting in love with the sport, so that they can see what's what. Whether you was the hit man all the time and then got your collar on, or Dirty Dan. Run it down.
I was a kind of hard-headed player. Like, I was hard-headed. Like, Coach would get on me, and I'm...
Hold it. Your grade, your home environment, and your sports environment. When you started loving football and really start paying attention under Coach, did your life change? It might then mentally, and where you wanted to focus, where you want to go now. That's what I want the audience to get.
So when I went under Coach Wing, I started distancing myself from people that like wasn't on the same type of level I was on.
Oh, all right. And there we go.
So I made sure I was on time for school, doing all work, making sure I don't got no F's, no D's. I was just trying to focus on being a student athlete instead
of captain previously. Nah. It was. I like that. You said, nah, no way, baby. But you see the light, don't you?
Yes.
It might not be a bright light, but you can see the light at the end of the tunnel. If I keep paying attention, I'm going to get where I want to be. Or am I just putting words in your mouth?
Nah, that's exactly what I was thinking.
So what have you lined out for yourself this season, your personal season?
My goals is to try to get. I'm saying try. I'm trying to push for 1,000 yards. All right. I'm trying to push before the season ends. And as a safety, I'm trying to get like at least a good 5 picks before the season ends.
Hey, Coach, run it down, your assessment.
So James King is my guy, all right? I mean, what James has done in such a short amount of time is something I take great pride in. Before, if James ran the wrong route, it was under his breath and his head was down and he was talking crazy. But now, this year, I saw a change in James where it was eyes at my eyes, yes sir, no sir, I got you. Not any back talk, no nothing, just straight yes sir, no sir, I'm gonna make the play. And he's becoming a guy that in clutch time, I'm starting to like, hey, you know what? Hey, Walter, don't forget about James. Like, we have a guy who's starting to make plays because he hasn't played football that much, right? He's only played, 16, 17 games in his whole career. So we're starting to get into a point where he's feeling more comfortable. And then James is a guy that I have no problem throwing the ball into the middle. I have no problem with James running the ball. He's really good on jet sweeps for us. And so he's a guy that I told my wife about, talking about like, that's what we're talking about. That's what we're making improvement in somebody's life. When we can start, their head is up when we talk to them now. Because they understand that we're not tearing them down. You just ran the wrong route. Okay, so let's fix it. Let's make sure we're right. And James's attitude was super impressive. We had some guys who were on the team who were best friends and fell out. We had to have a little conversation to get some guys back together. I'm taking James home. He's in the back seat, and he was like, "Coach, I wonder how that was going to work, because if they were going to play side by side, it wasn't going to be good for the team if they weren't talking." And I had to turn around. I was like, "Is James King in the back seat?" He saw the issue. He knew there was a situation. He knew it had to be resolved. That's so much personal growth by James. That's so huge. That is so impressive that he was able to see that, understand that what we needed to do was come together to make us a better team.
Hey, Coach, so let me finish up with James. Then I want to close this out with who's next up and what's the strategy. So, James, who in your personal life has really helped you develop your personal?
I say my mother too. Like,
what's her name?
Laquita Brownette.
Hey, Laquita Brownette. Shout out from the baby boy. He's on the upswing, honey.
But she makes me get up every day to do the work. Knowing it's online, she helps me.
Support.
Yes. She tells me, don't focus on the next play. If you mess up, don't even worry about the last one.
You want to shout out to anybody? Your girlfriend or anybody? Pookie?
Yeah, I shout out to my wife, Fashion.
All right. You shouting out Johnson?
No, sir.
And shout out to the team then, bro.
Yeah, shout out to the team.
Whole starting defense.
You know that little girl gonna be saying, "You didn't shout out to me. What's wrong with you?" Hey, Coach, what you talk about? You shouting out to the wife and kids?
Oh, most definitely. Shout out to my wife. Shout out to my daughter Jaylee, my son Justice, my grandson Xavier. Everybody. Yeah. I love my Blue Eagle family. Right. I'm just so lucky that I'm so blessed to be able to coach these young men and what we're doing is we're winning in life right now. These kids' lives are changing, and that's so awesome to see their worlds expand, their lights come on, their eyes open up, and understand that the zip code does not determine who they are or where they're going to be. That their inner drive, their relationship with themselves, learning to love themselves. And that's something that why we talk about drive them crazy in the beginning, is about loving each other. They was like, that's so crazy.
I love your attitude. The key thing I just got out of your statement, you said, I'm privileged to have the opportunity to coach these fellas.
Absolutely. Absolutely. There has to be.
That strikes with me, that it's not just you understand you're helping them, and it's a privilege to be able to spread that knowledge that has been put in your care to, no holds barred, as they said, unconditional love. Mm-hmm. And I really appreciate that about you, Coach. I think
the IL is changing. I think this new wave of coaches is coming in. Coach Lowe at Lincoln, Coach Foster over at Southeast, myself. This new blood, we were starting to bring better coaching to the inner city, and these kids just need an opportunity. If you have bad information, you make bad decisions. If you make good information, you have a chance to make a good decision or a bad decision. And if you've only been left with bad decisions, that's all you're ever going to do. But someone's got to come in and show these young men who they are, who they really are, not what their zip code tells them they're going to be, but who they really are in life.
Hey, Coach, as we always say in closing, when you invest in your community, you're really just investing in yourself. Good night.
This program is brought to you by the City of Fountains Coaches Association.